Hey, this is Jeremy from To The Table Games, and I want to start a couple new things. Now, first, I want to start a new video series about where I acquire games. And I say acquire because I don't buy all of them. And I have a lot of board games, and I get them for different reasons, and so I want to talk about that. So sometimes I just want the cheapest price I can find, and there are places to go to find cheap games. And sometimes the Dice Tower does a review on them and gives it all 10s, and I'm like, I have to have that game immediately. And so I want to know the best places to find that game. And sometimes I want just the most deluxeified, fancy version of a game I can get. And so there's places to buy games for that. And so, yeah. The other thing that I'm doing new is I have this Stream Deck, if you didn't notice. And I'm using this Stream Deck because I don't have anybody helping me film these videos, and this will just help me to be able to do more things. It could help me pop stuff on the screen. It could help me maybe eventually live stream, which would be super cool because then I could talk to you. And also, it could help me to do like podcast style and talk to somebody else and interview somebody. And I'd like to get to that point as well. But I really need to figure out how to navigate this. So it's starting with this video. So now, the first video I want to do in this video series is about Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is a crowdfunding website, and what is it? So, if you don't know, a crowdfunding website is basically a website where you have a good idea, and you don't have the money to bring it to life. This is kind of where crowdfunding came from. And so you put together a page like really highlighting how awesome your idea is, and you put it on a website like Kickstarter, and then people look at Kickstarter and say, man, that's a really good idea. I want to help fund that idea. And so that is what Kickstarter is. It's a crowdfunding, and one of the biggest sections of Kickstarter is like the board game RPG section. I think it is actually where they make the most money. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it is. So, I really like Kickstarter. It's become nostalgic to me because I bought a lot of Kickstarters, and I really started buying a lot of Kickstarters because my son had a YouTube channel called Codes Nanotype, and he was reviewing board games, and we learned that Kickstarters you get before they go to the store. So it was a way that we could get games early and unbox them and review them before anybody could get them. And, and usually they're games that people are excited about. So it was a fun way to like create good content. And so it was a super fun time that I got to do with my son. And so it's nostalgic to me. But also Kickstarter is a really good crowdfunding site. I really like how things are laid out. It's simple, it's easy, and that's one of the things I like about it. Now, the website isn't quite as easy as the app, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But overall, I really like Kickstarter. There are a few things I don't like, and we'll talk about that. So let's go to my web browser. And so this is the homepage of Kickstarter, and you'll notice, somebody is trying to bring, a projector to life here and a few other things. And, so let's just look at, one of my campaigns. And I don't do as many Kickstarters as I used to because my son doesn't do the YouTube anymore, and plus everything's really expensive, right? So this is Cosmoctopus, and this is the web page. And so if you want to look at what this campaign's about, you go to campaign, and you just scroll through the page, and it's usually just one page, nothing else. And then, for the website, it shows you the different ways you can back it and how much it costs and all that. And this is done, so it doesn't necessarily have all that stuff now. But usually you'd hit here and you'd say you're backing it. But so I just like how simple this is. Now there's other, players in the game that, I think might have better looking websites and apps and stuff, but I just like how simple the Kickstarter pages are. They're just easy to see, what's there and what you get. And obviously not all Kickstarter pages are that clean, and I probably wouldn't back one if it didn't look nice, really. So, but yeah, so this is Kickstarter page. Now there's other things, you can look at the creator and all the different things. And typically I don't want to back something from somebody that's a new creator personally, because, you do take the chance of, never getting that thing because they mismanage their money when they do it, or they're trying to scam you. And, obviously Kickstarter, really tries to, make sure that people are doing things the right way and all that different stuff. But sometimes you do get burned for whatever reason. Maybe there's a bunch of tariffs and it makes a company fold, So now you can look at the rewards. There's facts about it. And the other cool thing is there's like a community, chat that you can, talk to people or talk to the creators. And there's also updates. And the updates are awesome because they really kind of help you to see how the game is progressing. And they'll tell you different things like this one, it kind of showed some samples. It just shows you what the new, boards and cards and stuff look like and what the plushie is going to look like. And sometimes they'll show you where the ship, when the ship leaves the port, from like China, and like, and you can watch it as it, crosses the Atlantic or whatever. And that's super cool. And you just get to see the whole process happen, and once again, some companies do it better than others, but I just really like, being a part of it. And that's cool. I feel like I helped create this thing, even though it wasn't my good idea, like I got to help somebody else's good idea come to life. So yeah, this is what a Kickstarter page looks like. Now, if I want to, I tend to every week on Tuesday, because that's usually when, the big Kickstarters come out, I'll look through all the new board game ones. And the website isn't as nice as the app, but what you would do is you go to games here. You would then go to, oh, I should have went to games. And then tape. Oh, I did it again. Silly me. It's not working. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay, here we go. I keep on clicking it. So, anyways, so you do that, and then to see the most recent games, you go to newest. That's just kind of clunky. You've seen, even while I'm doing this in the video, it was very clunky. And yeah, so I don't like that. I don't like how clunky it is. And another thing I don't like about Kickstarter is like when you're scrolling through, like the new projects, there's always these like tons of 3D prints or STL files. And a lot of them are inappropriate. I'm a Christian. And so I don't want to see certain things, really. And sometimes it seems like every fifth, project is some kind of IP STL file that is sexualized. And I just don't like that. So I don't even really want to scroll down because I'm just afraid what's going to come on the screen. And I don't like to see it. And I just kind of like brush by it really quickly. But I could never really do that with my son, like, because like I would just feel uncomfortable. So yeah, that's one of the things that I don't like about Kickstarter, and I wish they would find a way to filter those STL files out of the tabletop section. So Kickstarter, let's fix that. So now the phone app, let's look at that, because I just really like the phone app in this. It's just really clean. It's easy. You just scroll down, and everything's right there. If you click on a page, it pulls it up, and you can. Oh, whoops! I'm doing the same thing on this, and then you just hit the campaign, and Yep, it just really clean. It's really nice. There's nothing on the sides. It just shows you the page. I really like the look of this. And so, yeah, the other thing is it's easier to get to the newest games. You just go here and you hit tabletop, and then you go newest, and then it'll go through all the new. You can just scroll through all the newest. And yeah, so I really like the phone app. I think it's really nice. And that's one of the awesome benefits of Kickstarter. Now, the other thing that I don't really like about Kickstarter that some of the other crowdfundings do a better job is after your campaign's done, they have to have a pledge manager, a way to manage the money and all those different things. Well, Kickstarter doesn't have their own pledge manager built in. So they have to use other pledge managers, like Pledge Manager is one of them. There is BackerKit. There is GameFound. And like after your campaign, and sometimes it's hard to figure out. You have to go through the different updates to like, you're like, did I, follow through and make sure to finish up the payment process? Did I do all that? And so then you have to figure out which like pledge manager has that game. And so that can just be a little annoying. I mean, I always can figure it out. I go through my emails or whatever, or the updates, and I figure it out, but it could be simpler if Kickstarter just had their own, pledge manager. So that's one thing I don't like. It's not a deal breaker. I still like doing Kickstarter. As you've seen, I still have a campaign I don't have yet. But there are some newer ones that, definitely one that's starting to kind of like get some traction for me. And we'll talk about that one later. But yeah, Kickstarter, if you want to see, a game like come to life, if you want to be a part of that, if you want to get the fanciest, most deluxeified with the coolest insert, Kickstarter is awesome. It is definitely a way to go. And I think it's fun. I think it's just, I enjoy the process. Now, it does suck that sometimes you have to wait 2 years, not always 2 years, but 2 years to get a game, or longer. That's not fun, but it is fun seeing how the game comes to life. It's fun sometimes when they put your name on the box to show, or in the rule book, that you helped make this thing happen. Sometimes it's fun when they have something fun where you can put your dog on a card in the game. Different things like that. It's fun that you get to, help make these things happen. And so if that sounds fun to you, Kickstarter is a really cool way to get games. It's definitely not the cheapest, but you might get something that no one else gets, because maybe it doesn't really like get a bunch of backers. It just gets enough to fund, and there's only 100 copies out there, but it ends up being an amazing, your favorite game. You never know. And that's really cool, and that's why I like Kickstarter, and that's why I buy stuff from Kickstarter. So if you never backed a game on Kickstarter, try it. It's fun. So if you like this video and you want to see more of me, using my Stream Deck and talking about different games, yeah, subscribe, hit the little bell, and what's the other thing that you're supposed to do? I don't even remember. But yeah, if you want to see more, do those things. And why am I forgetting the last thing? It's click the bell and hit subscribe, and I don't ever remember because I'm old and I forget things. But I hope you like this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.